Hi everyone. I would like to talk about how you make your digital channels compliant. There is a lot of words on this first slide, but only 3 letters on the next one. Who of you knows what they stand for? Please raise your hands. It's good to get some exercise going. I want to see all the hands after those 5 minutes because that's what I'm going to be talking about. What are the big 2 challenges financial service institutions are facing today? There are 2. One is compliance, directly followed by digitization. I'm going to show you how this conflict, how it's usually dealt at, having compliance on one side and digitization on the other side, how we're going to bring those 2 sides together. And it's actually quite simple if you have a system like Qumram, who ensures digital compliance on one side and helps the digital business to grow, to have better user experience. And how do you do it? It's actually by knowing what your customer does. How do we help you? We record everything that goes on the digital channel to have legal admissible proof. We can replay those user sessions to exactly see what was going on. And in the end, we have a lot of behavioral data we can feed into predictive analytic systems to learn a lot about the customers. But that's theory. Let's have a look how it really looks like. What you're going to see is actually how Qumram works. You have a lot of user session. This is the session of George. And as you can see, he has some sessions. The first one is on his iPhone. And what Qumram is capable of doing is replaying, like in a movie, how it looks like. So your forensic and your compliance team for the first time can have a YouTube-like experience while investigating. They don't have to dig through the log files anymore, but you see what the hand was going of George, where he was clicking, where he actually had to switch his customer journey because he couldn't proceed on the mobile, so he went on the web a few minutes later. And then the same thing again, and at a certain point, George was asked to declare that he would take the risk on his own because his risk class was not sufficient. And as you can see, his behavior was really quite hesitating. He didn't want to take the risk. He wanted to keep the risk by the bank, but he couldn't proceed. And I mean, if you have a look at that, there is no doubt anymore what the behavioral aspect of George was like. And in the end, he wanted to buy the fund, so he did complete the action. And this is just one part. Having the control of your own digital channel is one thing, but I think the next thing will be your social media channels. Actually the channels your customer wants to use. And if you want to become a real customer-centric bank, you got to open up social media for them. In this example, we see LinkedIn and how it gets recorded by Qumram. I encourage all players here to really open up social media and put a recording in place, and then you're safe and customer-centric at the very same time. Now let's try to switch back again in the application. So Qumram drives customer values in 3 ways. We ensure compliance, we help to prevent and detect fraud, and in the end, we increase customer experience for sales and marketing by better understanding the user behavior. We have some customers, as we've mentioned before, and you see the logos below. We did win a lot of awards over the last few months, and we present here at the stand in the back. If you see this balloon moving up and down, that's us. It's the first stand. I'm really happy to talk to you and answer all your questions and show you more. Thank you very much. And that's what Qumram knows about you and how we say KYC. Thank you for listening. Talk to you later.
And it's not that strange, this move, because in the end, it's the consumer which focuses, shall be in our center of attention. And that doesn't matter whether we sell toothpaste or washing powder, or whether we want to give excellent solutions for their most urgent needs. Now, it's fascinating to be here in this vibrant London FinTech scene, and I thank very much for the invitation to the organizers. It's also good that I don't need to explain the importance of financial inclusion, how that will foster prosperity for all people in the world. And it really has done a lot mobile money has done more to enhance financial inclusion in the last decade than banking in the last century. And that is enormous what has been achieved. 271 services are there, over 400 million subscribers, 1 billion turnover only in last December. So you could think that's quite an achievement. Now, there is a but. Even in the most successful country, which is Kenya with its M-Pesa model, which is definitely best known here, it's only 2% of all transactions which go via mobile money. 98% still are using cash. And there are 2.5 billion unbanked, we've heard, and only 130 are active users. And that's quite a generous definition, because active users, that's one using it once in 90 days. The worst thing and the big problem is that merchants are literally excluded. Or do you know a decent merchant which is ready to pay 10 to 20% of the transaction value as transaction fee? That is actually how the systems look today. Now, we went out and said that is what we need to change most, because the merchant payments, that's at the very center of every ecosystem. Every person buys groceries, buys food and things every day. Remittances are done maybe twice a month or maybe once a month. And that is where an ecosystem needs to start. So basically what Monetas allows is it makes transaction most valuable or cheapest where volume is highest. Half of all the transactions in Kenya are below $1, 80% below $5. And so our maximum fee is where the minimum fee of all other mobile payment systems are starting. We can transact on our system profitably little amounts like 1 cent, and that basically costs hundredths of a cent to transact that one. Our system is fully interoperable between networks and countries. You can imagine if you have a country with 3 or 4 mobile payment operators, that means you have 3 or 4 different currencies additional to the national fiat currency. And that makes it very unusual that the merchants would accept, even if he has 2 or 3 phones, the probability that the customer is on the same system is lower than 50%. And what's more, Monetas is not only a payment platform, it's actually a digital contracting system. So whatever contract you can think of in financial services, be that a saving contracts, be that a credit or microcredit contract, or even insurances, you can transact on our system. Now what's so unique about the system, why is that possible? It's principally because it's the first real digital wallet. Unlike other mobile payment systems, starting from Apple Pay going to M-Pesa, our wallet is not an access to a centrally managed account. No, there are no centrally managed account needed. The money is literally on the phone, on the wallet. Organizational trust is replaced by cryptographic algorithms which cannot be forged. And what's more, or what's basically in, it's a digital notary which witnesses transactions between 2 partners. And that's why it's so highly efficient. That's why it has quite disruptive character. Now, I was talking always about mobile money, but you can imagine applying this to traditional banking, that you don't need to have financial intermediaries anymore, that you don't need to have to manage centrally accounts for your customers anymore. You don't need to have compliance in terms of customer protection. That can really fundamentally change the financial services business. But currently, we are focusing on the unbanked, on those who need it most, and I invite you to join us to empower unprecedented prosperity in the whole world. Thank you.
I'm Chris Gogol of WealthArch. WealthArch is a Swiss FinTech B2B startup. Actually, I'm the last Swiss startup presenting today. So before setting up WealthArch, I was working in a Swiss private bank, and I was very frustrated with legacy of IT systems. I simply wanted to use the latest technologies, such as cloud, big data, artificial intelligence, to develop the next generation financial software. And this is how WealthArch was born. Today, our company is already operational. We employ almost 15 people in different countries. We provide services to the financial institutions, mostly private banks and wealth managers who are located in Switzerland. Our headquarters is in Zurich, Switzerland. And this is because Switzerland is still the main hub of the wealth management. People all over the world are coming there to put their savings in Swiss banks. We are working closely with those bankers and helping them to become a real trusted advisors to their clients. So how are we doing that? We are doing that by bringing them the new technologies for digital reporting and for interactive client interaction. I'm not sure how many wealth managers are here in this room, but please trust me, things such as investment proposals, research, compliance checks, or client communication are usually not done by mobile, especially not in a private banking. With WealthArch, all those services that you can see behind me can be done within seconds. Actually, a lot of our customers are surprised that we calculate a lot of complex financial measures very quickly. And this is possible because we have our own proprietary big data algorithms. Now, let's assume that all wealth managers go digital. And then what will be the next step? I believe that the next step is providing a robo-advisory services. And this is what we are also offering to our customers. Maybe we are a B2B company. We are offering different modules to our customers. And we simply want to help them to go to the digital transformation. One of our value propositions is doing data integration. For our clients, we integrate bank accounts across different custodians. We have one customer who is managing over $1 billion with 200 client portfolios. And those 200 client portfolios are located in 20 different banks. Placing a simple trade for all of his clients takes 1 to 2 hours every day. With WealthArch, it's happening within seconds. Also, our customers, like private banks in Switzerland, are interested in offering robo-services to their clients. Usually it's just a hybrid advice when portfolio manager is checking what the algorithms are recommending and then putting them for his client. What makes WealthArch unique is the fact that we are a really B2B company. We are selling our services to asset managers, they are paying to us a monthly subscription fee, and their clients are getting access to our services for free. We are covering different needs, both of a client at the same time of an advisor. And maybe now, let's have a look at our client portfolio dashboard. What's important is that we are not just a personal finance management system. This is because we are targeting a very special client group, which is high net worth individuals. And this group of customers got a very different needs than retail clients. What you can see here is a very wealthy clients with 20 millions of savings in different banks. And we are aggregating everything in our system. We calculate different financial measures such as month to date, year to date. We also calculate breakdowns, show the history of all investments. And I think that's all. Then thank you.